Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another video. And this is a paid request from Phil. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting any type of videos, whether it be topic, reaction, commentary, review, re-review, video game let's play, or let's try, re-review, whatever the case, PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. Links are in the info box over there, wherever it is this week on YouTube. And Phil wanted me to do a commentary on the Avengers, the 2012 film. I'm paused at the beginning. I do have subtitles on. The ceiling fan is on because it's so hot. So I apologize for a bit of the wind noise you'll be hearing because of it'll catch the microphone. But again, if it's something had to sit for, at this point, almost 2.5 hours long, it's like 100-degree weather. I can't do it without the fan. It's one thing if it's like 20 minutes. Anyway, pause at the beginning. 3, 2, 1, pressing play. And thank you, Phil. Hopefully you enjoy. As we have the Marvel logo passing by. By this point, the cinematic universe of Marvel had been started, I would say 2008, because you had Iron Man and the Incredible Hulk. Then you had, which was after that? There's Captain America, and then there's Thor, and you had Iron Man 2 amongst all those. So I want to say it was Captain America and Thor and Iron Man 2, then you had Thor. And it was interesting that they took multiple movies to build these characters up. So you put them together, it makes it seem like such a big event that the collective audience will go see, because they've seen these films, and whether you liked or disliked them, you like one more than the other. Now you see them get together, and this was a big event type of movie. I mean, people were just could not stop talking about it, especially before it came out. And a lot of people enjoyed it when it came out. Made a lot of money. I remember the advertising. It actually had a good song for the trailer. I think it was 9 Inch Nails. We're together now. Ba-da-da-na-na-na-na. I think it was 9 Inch Nails, because I'm thinking, I didn't expect that to be used, but that's interesting. I cannot remember when Disney became part of Marvel. It might have been by this time. I can't remember. It might have been already. But I mean, this could be a whole dissertation about how Marvel has just gone so downhill in terms of quality, box office, politics. As if just worrying about making entertaining films. And I remember when this came out, I was not a diehard fan of it. As is, I think back then I said it was okay. Even now, I remember thinking this was just okay. It's an okay film. I remember when I saw this, I went, okay, I like the third act. But I didn't think it was the bee's knees like everybody thought it was. But I thought there was some entertainment in the third act. I liked some of the actors. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, you got Samuel L. Jackson here. When Nick Fury was taken seriously, Then you have this actor here, Skarsgård, who was in Thor. And then you got Jeremy Renner, Hawkeye. Really enjoyed Jeremy Renner as an actor. Of course, he was in National Lampoon's Senior Trip, which had that movie had the line, "Let's do some van damage." Tommy Chon as the bus driver. Say some magic words, please. And yeah, Jeremy Renner was the star of that. But yeah, I enjoy, like I said, really enjoy him as an actor. Wind River is a really good film. I know they did a TV show on Hawkeye, but at the same time, it was like, oh, here's this lady who gets to do all this stuff, and then it seems like she was going to take over. And why did Hawkeye need a sidekick? Like, just have Hawkeye take some names. You know, Hawkeye, like Iron Man didn't need a sidekick. Thor didn't need a sidekick when they had their films, and Captain America had Bucky, and then he died, and then Captain America had to do it on his own. You could have made a Hawkeye movie, and the films don't have to be $200-300 million. Now you have Tom Hiddleston as Loki. Remember when Loki you could kind of take seriously? Like you're supposed to be a threat? They did that TV show, and every clip I see is like hokey, silly, him being slapped, him being beat up, him being kicked in the nuts or something. And it's like, what the hell? And then look at here, he's like throwing people around, trying to be, a threat. I remember when this came out, I kind of went, man, they're using Loki as the villain, because we had just seen him as the villain in Thor, so it just felt like we just saw him as the villain. Like, we can't have someone else as the villain. Now here's Hawkeye being controlled. And it's kind of such that I think he was in Thor, but here as part of the Avengers is like he gets to be the villain most of the time. That's why it was great to see more of him in Avengers Age of Ultron, which in my opinion is the best Avengers film. I know a lot of people knock that one, they crap on that one, they made fun of that one. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I think that had the better pacing. I think that had the right balance, because you don't have to go through the build up of we gotta get the team together. So here's then they meet each other, and then you gotta go through the beginning of them meeting each other and trying to get to know each other, trying to get a handle on each other. We've established that. We go in with gusto at the beginning with an action sequence, and then we go through this journey. And I like James Spader as an actor. I like him as Ultron. I think it's a fun movie. I think it was the quickly paced. Never hated Age of Ultron. Always enjoyed it. Damn, Sam Jackson just got dropped like a bad habit. I say, remember Nick Fury was taken seriously, and then it's like, this is before we found out that he lost his eye to an alien cat. Some goofy alien cat, and then this whole thing with the scrolls and French kissing them and whatever the hell else he was doing. It's weird, like watching this and just seeing how have changed. Even this whole sequence here, like a lot of practical stuff being done. Like you see, like this tunnel, a good chunk of the tunnel is done practically. You know, real car getting flipped over, real lights on the ceiling there. Nowadays, that whole bit will be 100% CGI. So you had Iron Man 2008. I enjoyed that film. Incredible Hulk, Edward Norton, film I don't mind. Then you had Iron Man 2. I keep forgetting when Thor came out, what year Thor came out. Just was it those two 2008? Was there anything in 2009? I think 2010 Iron Man 2, and then you had Captain America and Thor, and then this was 2012. Even afterward, you know, I like Captain America, the sequels, especially The Winter Soldier. Ant-Man, the first one was enjoyable. I liked the first Doctor Strange. I loved Age of Ultron, like I said. And then, like, Guardians of the Galaxy, of course, in 2014. That was a fun one. So it's not, I'm just a hater. I've liked a lot of their stuff earlier. It just, I think, as time went on, they got complacent. They wanted to be less about strict entertainment and more about, well, we could try to be entertaining, but we gotta put a message about equal rights, sexism, he, she, they, them, all this other stuff. And not only that, it's like, well, we also gotta throw in a lot more CGI, and a lot of the CGI don't seem finished, and the budgets are getting bigger, and yet they're looking cheaper. And I don't blame the visual effects artists. For what I understand, they're just given a lot less time because Marvel, Disney want to crank these things out again and again and again, and there's just no time to finish the stuff. And I mean, I did not like it. Infinity War. I think is the most overrated. I don't understand the appeal of that film. Endgame, I think sucks. That's my opinion. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 is okay. The third one, I think the first half is horrible. The second half is alright. Here we have Scarlett Johansson as Black Widow. Which, for I understand, Emily Blunt was going to play Black Widow. From what I understand, Emily Blunt, who I enjoyed in Edge of Tomorrow with Tom Cruise, she did great in that. Also, what was the film? Sicario, I believe. I liked that one. But, and of course, this is in Iron Man 2. It would have been, because that's the first appearance of Scarlett Johansson's Black Widow was in Iron Man 2. Which, funny enough, I remember that was kind of one of the iffy things about it, is trying to shoehorn the Black Widow, Nick Fury build up to this into Iron Man 2 story. Which I think Jon Favreau, like, there was some friction, so that's why Favreau never directed a Marvel film again. He obviously kept being in movies, in the Iron Man films, and then the Spider-Man films, but directing wise, he kind of walked away from that. I don't blame him. Do not blame Jon Favreau at all. But yeah, when Scarlett was gonna, when they were getting a Black Widow for Iron Man 2, which again came out 2010, Emily Blunt could have done it, but she has some kind of contract, and the studio who had her contract forced her to do another movie, and that was Gulliver's Travels with Jet Black, where she played like a queen, a princess that had like nothing to do. Like, that's a pretty terrible, boring, forgettable movie. And no one remembers Gulliver's Travels. I do, because I reviewed it like a few weeks ago. Well, like a week or two ago. And imagine that. Like, you have an opportunity to be in a series of films, make a lot of money. Because she was in this one, she was in the other Avengers films, she had her own movie, Black Widow, which was too late, in my opinion. For some reason, they made a Black Widow after they killed the character off. Because that makes a whole lot of sense, you know. That's their great planning. Which they planned well at the beginning, so you would think they would know a little bit about planning later on. But yeah, Emily Blunt losing all that, man. I mean, she's doing well for herself, but you gotta think there's a little bit in the back of her head going, man, that's a hell of an opportunity to lose, and not to like a decent film, to Gulliver's Travels, where she was like 5th, 7th on the call sheet. Like, come on now. Now here's Mark Ruffalo, who is a dirtbag weirdo of a person. Like, if you look into his politics, and there are people that there are certain people who are P to the E to the D to the O's that he's like trying to, oh, you know, like feel sorry for them and such. I'm like, no, feel sorry for the kids who went through that and more. So I don't like Mark Ruffalo as a person. I think he's a terrible person and terrible politics. As an actor, I don't mind him. I think he does a decent job here. I do prefer Eric Bana in the 2003 Hulk. I do prefer Edward Norton in the 2008 Hulk, Incredible Hulk. So he is my least favorite Hulk. Now, Hulk is done respectably in this film, and to a point, the second film. After that is when you start seeing Hulk become a joke. He becomes a joke. I know my friend Effrey is a huge fan of the Hulk, and I know the feeling. You see a character you love being turned into a joke. He would lose his ever-loving mind if he saw She-Hulk. I think he would lose his ever-loving mind if he saw that. And that's where we're at. Like, I mean, Captain Marvel, the She-Hulk show, all the other Disney Plus Marvel shows. The one with Scarlet Witch and WandaVision, where she had a whole town under control, technically being tortured and held and away from their lives and their families just for her own selfish deeds, but yet that was okay. And then they try to make her a villain in Doctor Strange 2, but I don't know. For some reason, they're still trying to make us feel sorry for her. I'm like, no. There's even a point. I mean, yeah. Whole other thing. So, of course, we have Scarlett Johansson, talked with Mark Ruffalo. I mean, which I would assume is Incredible Hulk 2008 is supposed to be in this timeline. I mean, at the end of that film, you had Robert Downey Jr. and Thunderbolt, which was a William Hurt, I believe, who I believe they recast with Harrison Ford in that new Captain America Brave New World, which I liked Anthony Mackie. I actually like him as Falcon and Captain America 2 and 3, Winter Soldier and Civil War. I like Anthony Mackie. I liked him as an actor. I mean, I don't know. It was a tough call to have anyone play Captain America. And they didn't properly build it, as in, why would Anthony Mackie be Captain America when all signs pointed to Bucky being Captain America? Maybe if they had properly built it, maybe people would have been more gung-ho about it. I guess just straight, like, I looked at Samuel L. Jackson, he's taking the character seriously. He's a no-nonsense guy. He has a mission. He has a goal. And then it's like, oh, by the way, this alien cat scratched my eye, and that was the last time I trusted someone. Which is such a serious notion when he tells Captain America that in The Winter Soldier, only then later find out, oh, it was an alien cat. And like, what the fuck? So here we have Chris Evans as Captain America, Steve Rogers, some remnants of the first Avenger. I do like this bit of anger where he's a man at a time. And the first Avenger grew on me. I will say the first Avenger, I was kind of like, I don't know about it. But it has grown on me in time. That has grown on me. So I was kind of iffy on the first Captain America film, but nowadays I liked it. Yes, too much CGI, I'm on other stuff, but I do like the film. And Chris Evans, I mean, he's another guy I don't agree on politically, and I'm on other stuff, but I do like him as an actor. I liked him in The Losers, which was also based on a comic book. I liked him in a film called Cellular with Kim Basinger and Jason Statham and William H. Macy. I think that's an underrated film. Yes, he was Casey Jones voicing that character in the 2007 Ninja Turtle movie, TMNT. Although that's a film I go back and forth on. I go back and forth on that film. But, of course, it's directed by Joss Whedon. I know I have not even gotten into that. Joss Whedon directed this, who helped create Buffy the Vampire Slayer. There was a movie, then you have the very successful TV show. Worked on other TV shows. You never hear about Joss Whedon anymore. He got canceled. I guess something about on-set behavior, and I don't remember all the details. It just seemed like people thought he was a dick. Just a dick. Although I'm sitting there going, what about James Cameron? You don't cancel James Cameron? Maybe there's some other details I don't know about, and I don't know about. And if you want to educate me, feel free in the comment section to educate me. But I'm just saying, if it's just for being a dick, look up James Cameron. He was a gigantic dick. Just look at the making of The Abyss, among other films. Again, is James Cameron going to get canceled? Now we have Robert Downey Jr., which I've always liked Robert Downey Jr. I mean, I remember seeing him in films. The first time I heard of him, I can recall this, which is funny because I never saw the film, but the VHS of Predator, they would have two trailers, a teaser for Revenge of the Nerds 2, Nerds in Paradise, and a trailer for a film called The Pickup Artist with Molly Ringwald from The Breakfast Club and Robert Downey Jr., which they call him Robert Downey. And I watched Predator so many times on VHS, so those trailers got embedded in my brain. And of course, he was in a small part in Weird Science, Back to School with Rodney Dangerfield, and a few other films. He was in Air America. He got in a lot of issues, drug problems. Cleaned himself up. Did films like Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which is an entertaining one with Val Kilmer. And then, man, he got a big comeback with Iron Man. Yeah, Tropic Thunder, that was a great one. Due Date, he's fun in it. Zach Galifianakis is a bit to take in, but I do like Robert Downey Jr. in that movie. And he does a film from time to time. Oh, Sherlock Holmes. I did like that one, especially the first one. The second one was there. Like I say, he does do a film from time to time, but it's kind of like I don't hear as much about him anymore since he did that Doolittle film, which was a catastrophe. Doolittle. Horrible film. Massive bomb. Yeah. But I mean, he was in the Avengers films, among others, and cameo was Spider-Man Homecoming. So, he made a ton of money. He made so much money with Marvel, he doesn't have to do a damn thing for the rest of his life. So it's funny how things work out where 10 years before Iron Man, people thought it was a lost cause. Now, set for life. And Robert Downey Jr. did a great job. He brought a level of seriousness, but it was very fun and wise ass and entertaining quality to the character. They have Gwyneth Paltrow. Didn't recently Gwyneth Paltrow, when she was involved in some skiing accident where she was going to go on trial? I swear there was something like that on the news. Yeah, something with Gwyneth Paltrow and skiing. Of course, Gwyneth Paltrow from the movie Seven, among many other films. See, this is one of those films that I don't rewatch much because, while I do not hate the film, I do think the film kind of drags. Because I get it, it's this build up. Like, we built up the characters individually, now we have to build up where how do we get it? Each one getting their screen time, getting their moment of introduction, and then how do we get these people together? Now this guy here, he just killed off, but then I don't remember the details of how he came back because he was. I never saw Agents of Shield, which actually was on for quite a few seasons, but yeah, I never saw Agents of Shield, so I don't know the details of it. Don't mind the actor though, Agent Coulson. Don't remember the actor's name, but I don't mind his acting. Yeah, it's just sad. What's become of Marvel? Just completely pathetic, to be honest. Completely pathetic. I mean, like the past 5 or so years at least, people can like what they like, but I'm sorry. No one can tell me that Doctor Strange 2 Multiverse of Madness, where they have a Mr. Fantastic, granted, like a guy that people wanted as Mr. Fantastic, and then they made him a dumbass and he's turned it into spaghetti. You have that one stupid thing where it's like a store and it shows your memories out in public. What if it was like a sex act of you and your wife, or you and your husband, or whatever? Would that show out in public as well? It was such a weird, stupid thing that they didn't really think things through. There's a lot of things about that film, and Thor: Love and Thunder, and Shang-Chi. I bet most people forgot Shang-Chi was a thing. And the Seven Golden Rings, whatever the hell it was. Most people like, oh yeah, Shang-Chi was a movie. Yeah, such a great movie that they're gung-ho and making a sequel. How many years has it been since Shang-Chi? They're really gung-ho and making the sequel, ain't they? Says he was so great. I should look up what's coming up. I'm sure eventually they're going to try to make a sequel to feel as if they're justified in making a number one in the first place, but I do like the rapport between Captain America and Black Widow, and you see more of that in The Winter Soldier and then Civil War and so forth. So good, again, nice back and forth between the two. Actually looking up list of Marvel films. And this is like Marvel back in the day. I liked some of the Marvel stuff back in the day. I'm not one of those guys that just there's never been a good film based on a Marvel character until the cinematic universe started. No, my favorite is honestly The Punisher with Dolph Lundgren, 1989, with the late great Louis Gossett Jr. Love The Punisher from '89. I like Daredevil from 2003. I enjoy, especially the director's cut. I like Hulk from 2003. Some of the X-Men films I don't mind. Just over the release date, not chronological. My God, don't care about just over just release order. So yeah, Iron Man, Incredible Hulk, then Iron Man 2, then Thor and Captain America 2011, then the Avengers 2012. So again, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movies in Phase 1. I like Iron Man. I don't hate Iron Man 2. It has its issues, but I don't hate Iron Man 2. I don't mind it. I think it's okay. Thor I liked. Captain America First Avengers growing on me, so I like it. Avengers, it's okay. Probably that Iron Man 2 is my least favorite of that Phase 1. Then Phase 2. Not a fan of Iron Man 3. Hated Thor the Dark World. But loved Captain America the Winter Soldier. I would say of the cinematic universe of Marvel, I think that's the best one they made. Guardians of the Galaxy, I like the first one quite a bit. Avengers Age of Ultron, I still maintain that's the best Avengers film. Ant-Man, thought it was fun, I liked it. Phase 3. Captain America Civil War, thought that was entertaining. Doctor Strange, nice surprise. I always liked the Scott Derrickson, I thought did a good job directing it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, I didn't mind. I like Kurt Russell in it, but there's issues I had with it. I didn't like it nearly as much. Spider-Man Homecoming, I didn't hate the film. I'm kind of like in between. I like Tom Holland, but I like Michael Keaton in the film. I think there's some good moments in it. There's also moments that really did bother me, so again, I'm kind of iffy on it in between. Thor Ragnarok, I will admit I enjoyed it for what it was, but you really start to see much more of the goofy stuff of Hulk and Thor and other stuff, and that was nice to see as an exception to the rule. Not that I want that to be the common rule going forward. Black Panther, I thought sucked. Infinity War, I thought it sucked. I didn't understand the appeal of that film. I don't think the action scenes are really that great in Infinity War. I really don't. I don't see how Star-Lord gets the drop on Spider-Man. I guess they forgot his spider sense in that scene. And the other stuff in that film, the way I don't know. Chris Pratt's character, I understand why he did what he did, because a loved one died and he's emotional. We don't always act rationally when we're emotional, but he does an action that causes the extinction of half the universe, and then that never comes into play later on, where he has to deal with that. If the Avengers didn't fix it, you would have killed half of the universe, because of, including yourself. You think that could be an important part to play into the character? No, we'll forget about it. And it's one of those things that is all based on a cliffhanger that you know is going to be fixed in the next one, and it is. And right, you just say that for any cliffhanger type of movies, to be fair. So, like Empire Strikes Back, Han Solo's taking him. Well, you know they don't get him back. But I don't know. I just that film never did anything for me. Ant-Man and the Wasp, I thought was very mediocre. Captain Marvel, I thought sucked. Endgame, I thought sucked. Far From Home, I would say is the best of the Tom Holland Spider-Man films. I like Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio. I thought he was rather fun to see. But again, I had issues with. But I would say of the three Tom Holland Spider-Man films, that's the one. If I have to pick to watch, would be it. WandaVision, fuck it. Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki season 1, fuck 'em. Black Widow, sucked ass. What If, give me the Creed song instead. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, generic and boring as hell. Eternals, a good sleeping pill. Spider-Man No Way Home, that and Infinity War are, I guess, Black Panther. Those are my top three most overrated Marvel films. No Way Home, incredibly overrated. I think it was a gimmick, of course, which worked well to have all this, the three Spider-Men in there. But the way Peter Parker, Tom Holland, just invites all these villains to his damn house, and there's Aunt May, and he doesn't think twice to go, hey, Aunt May, go with John Favreau and go camping somewhere, go to Disneyland, go somewhere I don't even know. Anybody. You tell me John Favreau doesn't know anybody to take Aunt May and for a week or two? There's so many things in that movie just so stupid. Doctor Strange 2 sucked. Thor Love and Thunder sucked. She-Hulk sucked. Quantumania sucked. Secret Invasion, what I saw sucked. Like Deadpool 2. Granted, those more were Fox. Nice interest for Captain America. I do like the way Captain America is used in this film. I do like the reference that there's another guy doing these kind of speeches, of course, comparing to Hitler. I just love the way he uses his shield as well. I do like this bit here where it's like, nope, I don't think so. Give you a nice kick to the face. And you see that stuff. You see Iron Man and Captain America as side by side, and for years and years and years, people who were fans of comic books and saw these characters in cartoons and things of that nature, they never thought they would see this on the big screen done with a respectable budget and with good actors. And I could see why it was a big event. And it was like, wow, you got Cap and Iron Man. And the potential of who else could come into the fray. But the thing is that you take the big characters, you've used them. Who else is left? If you think about it, it's like, okay, we got Captain America, we got Thor, we got Iron Man, we got Hulk. Of course, we done Spider-Man. Daredevil, Punisher had their TV shows. Doctor Strange had his movies. You're sitting there going, who else is left? Other than them bringing back the X-Men, the Fantastic Four, I guess you could say that's what's next. Now that Disney owns Fox, X-Men, Fantastic Four, and then incorporate them into this. But at the same time, it's like, okay, who are the X-Men and Fantastic Four? Who in the Marvel Universe they don't interact with? I guess maybe the potential of the Hulk and Thane having a fight, or Hulk and Wolverine. But Captain America is gone. Iron Man is dead. Thor. Chris Hemsworth's not going to do this forever. I mean, people are going to be gung-ho about Shang-Chi and the female Black Panther and the female Hawkeye and Scarlet Witch and Captain Marvel. Like, that's going to be your Avengers? This Blade that they can't make to save their life and went through like two directors and a dozen scripts, and like this Secret Wars movie. What the hell? Secret Wars. Like the Deadpool and Wolverine. Which, you know what? I still haven't seen a trailer. Does that film, I don't know. I don't know. Agatha Darkhold Diaries. I guess someone from WandaVision. So I don't get what it says. Captain America Brave New World. I don't think people are really that gung-ho about it. I know it's stupid to count views on YouTube to pertain to how successful a film will be. I remember this not getting a lot of views on YouTube and stuff, and I'm like, whoa. Like, I am surprised, like that kind of thing. What, Thunderbolts? Gives a crap about Thunderbolts. The Fantastic Four movie. Blade, that seems like will never get made, and it shouldn't. Ironheart, who cares? This must be an old one, because it's the Avengers, the Kane Dynasty. They're not going with Kane. After what happened with that actor. Of course, I'm talking through, like, again, this is what people fanboy in a good way. Oh, Iron Man versus Thor, how would that look? And they're fighting back and forth, and you know, you don't want one to beat the other, so you don't want to piss the one fan base off. I do like the bit that it re-energized Iron Man's tech. And that's the thing, is that you have to have them have equal bits of the fight. You don't want one to look too weak against the other, because then maybe deep down you're thinking, well, damn, like, this guy can beat him. Like, in a way, I know it sounds weird, but you kind of look down upon someone or some character, which I know is ridiculous, but, that's kind of a feeling one can get. So you see, like, Thor beating up Iron Man, but then Iron Man gets out of there, is able to get a punch on it. And a fairly young Chris Hemsworth. And before this, I mean, he was doing films like, I think that Cabin in the Woods, which was made earlier, but I think that it took a bit for it to come out. This is around the time you had the Red Dawn remake, which was awful, and other stuff. And when Thor was taken seriously, with the way his character was, the way he acted, and again, they had to try to be more comedic, more goofy, because if we add serious, I guess that means, quote, we're bland or boring. Well, no, I mean, Captain America, Chris Evans, the way he played it, he wasn't really goofy, silly. Unless it's like Loki pretending to be him. I'm talking about him, the actual character. And people didn't think he was boring or bland. It's just the way it's written. You have to write it well. So I'm looking at Phase 5, Deadpool and Wolverine. I mentioned that. Brave New World. Let's see. May 2025, Thunderbolts. This is like Marvel trying to do their own Suicide Squad. I don't think people don't give a rat's ass about Thunderbolts. You have Fantastic Four. Blade, I don't think we'll ever. One director was on it, but he left in September 2022. Then another director left in June 2024. Yeah, Avengers, the Kane Dynasty. I don't know if they're just gonna recast the character of Kane, and I think at this point no one cares about the character Kane as a villain. Definitely not as much as people cared about Loki or Thanos. And I didn't mind the actor Jonathan Majors. I liked him in Creed 3. I didn't mind him in Ant-Man 3, Quantumania. It was a horrible film. I didn't mind him. I know a lot of people, though, did not like him or didn't care, didn't feel anything. So no one's going to care about this villain, or very little. And then Secret Wars. What's the point of Secret Wars? I mean, I say, like, who else can you get? I guess their idea is that you could get the Fantastic Four next to the Hulk and Spider Man and all that stuff, and hopefully that'll get people's attention, intrigued to keep seeing these movies. I also wonder if they do Secret Wars, if that's when they're going to try to have Spider Man, the black suit, the symbiote, and do their version of Venom. Although, I guess they would not be able to because Sony owns Venom. But at the same time, like if they have a workaround with Spider-Man, maybe they could have one with. I don't know. I don't care really. Shang-Chi too. Yeah, good luck with that. Yeah, Don Cheadle's War Machine. There was going to be that TV show called Armor Wars. It sounds like a stupid title. That sounds like a side project of Storage Wars. Like we don't check out storage container units to find if there's armor there for Knights of the Republic or whatever the fuck. I apologize for the yawning. It's like 2 in the morning here. But I wanted to get this done, at least. Good use of your time playing that damn video game, buddy. Buddy. Sorry about that. Of course, we have this establishment of different outlooks for these two characters, which will follow through in the Avengers sequels as well as Civil War. I think there's a lot more they could have played with that in Avengers Endgame. They do a little bit of it, but I think there's a lot more they could have, and they left on the table for that. I don't know, it seemed like after a while, when they got into the later phases, it's like so many people wanted to be either Robert Downey Jr., Iron Man, or they wanted to be the Guardians of the Galaxy. Because, oh, well, they're having fun and they could do all sorts of stuff and they don't feel like they're a stuffed shirt. And they don't feel like they're a stick in the mud. And audiences, they really rally against Robert Downey Jr. Rally for Robert. rally for the Guardians of the Galaxy because of how fun it is and exuberant and energetic. I want that too. So can't the Hulk be more fun and got glasses, it's like taking selfies? Oh, Ted Thor, he's depressed, but Teddy looked like, with the beard, and someone references the Big Lebowski, and he make him even more funny, and not only Ragnarok, but then later in Love and Thunder. It's like, I don't know, man. But these little moments are not too bad. Like between Tony Stark and Bruce Banner. Did you have a little bit more insight to the characters and how they interact with each other? Definitely some of the better stuff of the film. Which, I mean, Joss Whedon is used to that with Buffy the Vampire Slayer and what was it, Firefly, and then Serenity, the movie. He had a decent tendency of writing characters, multiple ones, and how they interact with each other. Definitely one of his strengths. But yeah, I find the middle section of this film like fairly boring. Like from after Thor and Iron Man have their fight, up until the siege of New York starts. Again, there's a couple little character interactions I don't mind, but I find it just very lacklusterly boring in that section. Even the action scene where it's like, oh, here's Captain America. He's got an Iron Man. They gotta fix a damn door or whatever the hell. Not door, but I forget what the hell it was. Was it a door? We'll find out the because I already forgot what the hell it was. I mean, really? Granted, I did it to show that they're working together as a team, and it's not just about beating bad guys, it's about saving people, and this is a way of saving people, so I get it. I don't know. Damn, I don't know why I'm yawning so much. And God, there's an hour and 20 minutes left of the film. Great. Hour and 20 minutes. It's a pretty long ass film, I'll say that. I don't know why I keep yawning. For some reason, I just got incredibly fatigued watching this. what you prepared to do. This thing, like, I miss this Nick Fury. Determined, seemingly ready to take and do the tough decision for the greater good, all that stuff. Oh, this I remember being a pretty good scene because you think Loki's manipulating her emotionally and he's getting the upper hand, and then just like, we got it, walks away, and the way Loki's face is like, I thought that was a nice play on stuff. Like, you think it's going one way, but then it goes the other. I remember this being pretty clever. Of course, I'm sure some people are like, why does her shirt need to be zipped right to the middle, right to her titties? I would say is, you try having something right here. You would feel suffocated. If I had something right here, I'd want to zip it down a little bit too. Get some air in there. Yeah, but there are people who complain about anything and everything. I'm one of those guys that I kind of wish the whole superhero Marvel, they would kind of go away for a while. They're not. They won't. Granted, there's a lot of them that's been seemingly disappointments at the very least, but and you keep hearing about how Disney Plus and they've been losing a lot of money upon money upon money, even like, was it billions of dollars? But they'll keep doing it because they think they can turn it around, and all they need is a couple bona fide billion-dollar hits, and hopefully, in their eyes, be back in the game. But to be, yeah, there'll be films that people like, but I think you're going to just continue to see a downward slide on people's thoughts on the current state of this stuff, of these type of movies. Yeah, this is where you think, okay, is getting to her emotionally. His confusion there. What? See, that's what I mean. Stuff like that. Of course, this infighting and not trusting one another, which causes friction, and then there's no unit, there's no unified team, which then So they're arguing about how, why am I, if you're watching the film along with me, you know what's going on, so why am I explaining it? I guess sometimes I kind of looked at this as just like an audio podcast type of thing, that people maybe just listen to it and not watching the film along. And if that's the case, then they're arguing about Nick Fury using the power for the weapons, and other people saying that's stupid. Don't do that. And Nick Fury's like, we got to do that because we got people like Thor coming in. So what we gonna do? So now everybody's hating everybody. Interesting to have that shot upside down. I wonder if it's like, hey, everything's going either right now or soon to be topsy turvy. The whole world's gonna be, you know, everything's gonna be turned upside down. I say it was nice that Jeremy Renner had more to do in the Age of Ultron. I think that really helped establish his character the best that we've seen. So maybe in this way, Tony Stark's kind of looked at Captain America like, maybe reminds him of his own dad. Maybe just didn't it say like his dad kept thinking of like talking about Captain America or something, or part of the program, something of that nature. I could absolutely be wrong about that. People just unsure whether he's going to turn into the Hulk or not. Just sort of. I guess that's the question. Could you shoot the bullet fast enough before the Hulk turns and just eats that bullet for breakfast? Well, there is that. What was it? Punisher kills the Marvel Universe, where the Punisher found Bruce Banner as just Bruce, and then boom, popped him right in the head. Damn, Hawkeye blew part of the damn ship up. I don't know why, with the for some reason, remind me of Star Trek now, running through the corridors and all this other stuff. I don't know why. For some reason, just kept thinking of Star Trek. But yeah, with the stuff with the planning, it's just the fact that you would think you would have had a Black Widow movie sooner and a Hawkeye movie. You think like after this movie comes out, okay, let's work on a Black Widow movie or a Black Widow and Hawkeye movie, which that would make sense. Black Widow and Hawkeye. You even call it Black Widow and Hawkeye, Hawkeye and Black, whatever you want. And the two of them in a movie, and they're on mission or two or three together, and or they get their own movie. You think that'd be like the thing they would do after this, but no. I mean, of course, they do a sequel to Thor and a sequel to Captain America. Made sense. Iron Man 3. But like by 2014, you would think, okay, now let's. But they don't. They never did. As we see the Hulk here, of course, they've never made a Hulk film in the cinematic universe. And for I understand, they have no intentions of doing that. Now, granted, they say because of the budget, and maybe because they looked at the other Hulk films and they were not humongous money makers, so they feel, On the flip side, don't give me this, we can't afford it crap. You did the She-Hulk TV show, which, because she looks like that and never changes back, you have constant flow of special effects throughout that entire show. And for I understand, that cost a gargantuan amount of money, and I highly doubt it got that back. Which is why you're not seeing the season 2. You're seeing the season 2 of Loki. You're not seeing the season 2 of She-Hulk. I don't think that does good. Well, so that's. I was going to say that doesn't actually do anything, but that's what she uses it for, the steam. I say Joss Whedon. I mean, he's making the Hulk look like a ferocious, especially that shot there. That is a good looking shot. So they must have like her running and in real life have these things explode, crash, and then add the Hulk in there. Yeah, I'd probably say of all this, the Hulk versus Thor is the best bit in this whole middle section. I don't know, I guess just a part of me feels that like Robert Downey Jr., like Iron Man, Captain America, just be given more to do than this whole handle door business. Ooh, nice uppercut there. There you go. I do like that bit to show that Molnar only those who are worthy, so even the Hulk can't pick it up. Of course, later they had Captain America be able to use it. In fact, it seemed like he was using it better than Thor was against Thanos. But I will admit that was a fun scene on its own. It's just when you look at the whole big scheme of things, you're like, what? But it was a fun scene. One of the few scenes I enjoyed in Endgame. Yeah, Hulk's like, what the hell you doing? These damn mosquito bites. Leave me alone. Should stay a lot further away. Damn. Caught the guy right in the middle of damn. Tried to jettison right out of the jet and Hulk catches him. I'm like, that poor son bitch, but he let go eventually. Now I remember there was another shot in the trailer where Captain America's shooting the machine gun, but it's more like in this position, where it's kind of like you're looking more forward, and he's kind of like here, kind of like. But you don't see that shot. You see more of just down this way, but not so. I hate when they do that. I hate when they put shots in trailers and it's not in the damn movie. I'm sick and tired of seeing that. That's not a new thing. Older movies did that as well. Cliffhanger, the great jump at the end. Granted, it's like, well, it's a bit unrealistic, so they change it up a bit. But still, it's like, it's a great trailer shot, true. But I'm tired of them putting stuff in the trailer that's not in the movie. Like, what was it, Infinity War? The Battle of Wakanda? You had Hulk. Hulk's not in that battle. Even Beverly Hills Cop 4, Axel F, which I enjoyed. There's a scene in the trailer where how many people you pissed off this week? Oh, about 50-50. Oh, was it that much? Was that many? None of that is in the movie. That dialogue, that scene, there's a scene of the three of them together, but they're wearing different clothes and it's a different dialogue. So I'm like, well, what the hell did that scene come from? Again, I'm just sick and tired of showing stuff that's even Bad Boys 3, not the fourth one, the third one, where Will Smith does a 180, and as he's doing the 180, you have Martin Lawrence firing that minigun, blowing up, killing bad guys, and you don't see that shot of doing the 180 and Martin firing like that. Like, you don't see that. I'm like, what the hell happened? This is where Coulson ain't gonna make it. It's a pretty damn big gun though. I'm trying to remember if he's tripped and he's not really there. Yep, that's what I thought. I'm like, he's behind him, right? It's been a while since I've seen it, but I remember that. I just say figure, hey, we have to have someone die that somehow unites the team. So why not Agent Coulson? Of course, you could say, who the hell is Agent Coulson? I mean, even though he's been in some of the films, it's like, okay, well, was he really that big of a character? But I mean, the actor did do a good job and got to be part of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, so. I mean, I cannot answer exactly what happened with Marvel. I think it's a lot of little things that just got built up more and more and more, and then they all exploded at the same time. I know I said this before, but I'll repeat again. It's just so weird watching this. I mean, in a good way, but a sad way. Just how serious a lot of these actors, these characters are portrayed in this movie. Rightfully so. And just how they either died, they got old, and then similarly will die, or just became jokes, goofy, silly, jokerified alterations of themselves. It just pretty sad. And Marvel did it. Nobody else did it, but they did it. I mean, Black Widow is dead. Iron Man is dead. Steve Rogers, Captain America, is old and pretty much dead. At least close to it. I don't realize what Captain America was getting beaten up. Like he's like huffing and puffing. I'm like, from what? I don't even remember what the hell happened that he got so beaten down from. Some random soldiers, mercs. I mean, again, you go down the list. Iron Man, dead. Pretty much say Captain America's dead, pretty much. Black Widow, dead. Nick Fury turned to a joke. And Captain Marvel, the sequel, the Marvels, and that Secret Invasion stupid stuff. Hulk, a joke. Started in an Endgame, especially in She-Hulk. You saw it in Thor Ragnarok, to be fair, as well, but more so in Endgame and She-Hulk. And what else is there? There's Hawkeye. I don't even know what. I mean, Jeremy Renner, sadly, he got hurt very badly. I'm glad he's doing better. But I don't even know what's going on with him as a character. I don't know what happened to him on the Hawkeye TV show. I have no idea. So I don't even know if he's done, if he's going to be used anymore. I don't know. Thor became a joke. Endgame. Seems like Endgame really, I mean, fits. It ended a lot of either killing them or turn them into jokes and killing their souls. Endgame was the turning point, especially. I mean, there were films that were wishy-washy before, but I mean, that's with everything. Nobody has a 100% batting average. No director, no actor, nothing. But Endgame really is when the turn. I mean, you know what? Captain Marvel. Captain Marvel, to be fair. Because I keep forgetting that came out before Endgame. Captain Marvel was the turning point. Captain Marvel was the turning point. Then Endgame was the complete punchline, and just yeah. But Captain Marvel was the turning point, and just went completely downhill from there. I forgot Harry Dean Stanton was in this. Of course, Harry Dean Stanton from Alien, is Steve from New York. It's all about the bonus situation. Right, right. Like, I completely forgot he was in this. It's cool to see him in there. Sadly, I don't think he's with us anymore. And if so, that's too bad. Of course, Jeremy Renner here, he played Jeffrey Dahmer in a movie, which I haven't seen that movie. The Town, that was a good one with Ben Affleck. The Hurt Locker, really enjoyed The Hurt Locker. He was the star of that. That's a very good one. Who cares what you think? Apologize for the day I've been yawning. That's why I'm turning my mouth so you don't see it. There's still 49 minutes left of the film. Scarlett Johansson, not a bad looking lady. What was the film she starred in? Lucy? That was pretty. That was a pretty wanty movie. Lucy. Wasn't a fan of it. That's a pretty wanty film. So there's some nice dialogue exchanges between Hawkeye and Black Widow here. Again, just tell, like, why didn't you just give Hawkeye his own film? Again, make it for a lower budget. Not every movie has to be $200 million, $150 or $300 million. Just saying. Just saying. So I'm trying to think of more what to say. I gave my thoughts on the Marvel films. Pretty much a good chunk of dialogue exchanges here. Could look up to see if there's any trivia on the film. I could do that. Have to wait for this to start for a bit. It had to be right on his damn tower. Starts tower. Yeah, I noticed watches again. Joss really like doing those kind of off-kilter shots where it's like from an angle. He's done that a lot, where it's like people like looking like this or like this. I don't want to tilt the camera because I don't want to screw up the thing, but sort of almost like from time to time these like Dutch angles type of stuff. I mean, maybe not quite as much as Battlefield Earth did it, but I mean, there were times like there was a good chunk of those type of stuff, and It's like, damn. But the scene in Battlefield Earth, it was like almost every damn scene had that Dutch Angel stuff. So this doesn't do it nearly that bad at all. I do like the dialogue here. I have an army. We have a Hulk. This whole bit here shows Tony Stark's determination as well as a little bit of flippant attitude to it as well. Robert Downey Jr. kept food hidden all over the lab set. And apparently nobody could find where it was, so they just let him continue doing it. Captain America is the only one not eaten in the final end credits scene. This is because Chris Evans had grown out his beard after the movie was done filming. He was later called to do this extra scene. He could not shave his beard off because he was filming Snowpiercer. So they gave him a prosthetic jaw. He holds his hand over his face because the prosthetic made him look like he'd been attacked by angry bees. Yeah, that would do it. And he was unable to eat or talk with the prosthetic on. And yeah, I do like that one line, like, we're damn sure going to avenge it. This is a good badass line that really get you into gear for the third act here. And you notice throughout the film, like, Loki gets his ass kicked a lot. Even Agent Coulson blasted him. Quite a few people will blast him. Hulk, of course, beats the hell out of him. Here, Iron Man's doing it. Did that. Knocked him on the ground. Joss Whedon explained that two of the founding Avengers members, Ant-Man and Wasp, were cut because the script had too many characters. Yeah, I can understand that. There are a lot already that we have here. So apparently Joss Whedon suggested Thanos, the Mad Titan, plotting behind the scenes. And with that, helped them make, billions on the Endgame and Infinity War. Yep, now they're blasting New York. So apparently, the original cut of this was over 3 hours long. About 30 minutes was cut out, but they're included on the Blu-ray, most of which revolves around Steve Rogers struggling to adjust to the modern world. Some of those deleted scenes material will be used for Captain America: The Winter Soldier. Sorry, now I'm just looking through the trivia here. The first MCU film that earned $1 billion. Makes sense. Tom Hiddleston revealed that Chris Hemsworth actually punched him for real in one scene. There was a scene in Avengers where Thor had to strike Loki across the face and I was wearing the horns, which weigh about 30 pounds. I couldn't really sell the hit, or the smack, so I just said to Chris, I think you should just hit me in the face. It's a terrible idea. I went down like a stone, and I suppose on stage when you're doing a fight you have to do every night for 100 odd performances. I think if I was being hit in the face by Chris day after day, I don't know if I would be able to manage that. It wouldn't be sustainable. Okay. You know what? Screw it. Everything's hitting the fan here, so let's get a look at this as everything is going topsy-turvy. I mean, you have the Avengers, you gotta make a pretty big, epic series of events in here. Just have the entire city be attacked and try to give each character the moments. Loki's not listening to you. Ooh, damn. Slammed him right to the ground. That's some pretty good shots, real actual cars getting blown up. That's the thing, like, there is CG, but you can tell there's a lot of practical stuff being utilized as well, which makes the scene feel a little bit more authentic. And now we can see Hawkeye do some business, which is cool. And this bit here, yeah, there we go. The fire explosion behind him. Like I said, it's very, very hard to recreate fire in CG and make it look at all decent. That's why I think for the most part, fire explosions, you gotta do it practically. Safe, yeah, but you gotta do it practically because it's not gonna look real. Now, I can enjoy a film if it has that stuff in it. There's, of course, but it's not my preference. And that's the tough thing, like the idea of Captain America and these characters something to do where they're going to be on the ground, and in this type of scene, they're all going to be in the air. Like they're all going to be in the air, destroying buildings, these big, massive sentries and robots and aliens and stuff that are flying around. Obviously, tapping them. They can't fly, teleport, any of the sorts. So give nice moments of this the shine at least. Rather than there, it's like, yep, listen to the man. I always kind of like feel bad for Black Widow. Like Scarlett Johansson's like, all I have is these guns. That's all she has is these little pistols. Right there is using the spear. And then you see how cool like Hawkeye could be with the arrows and stuff. Cap with the shield. You got Thor coming in. Coming right on the little scooter. And I thought this was a nice way. Like we saw the Hulk before, but you really got to give him his hero moment, and this is a good line. First off, what's my secret? I'm always angry. I thought that's a good line, and then you just see this big hero moment. There you go. This should just show the power of the Hulk and what it could do. Just take this big, humongous thing head on and just completely obliterate it. With a little help from Iron Man. It definitely gave the aliens a bit of pause. And this is your great trailer shot. Like, I'm sorry, I just laugh anytime the Scarlett Johansson. Here's my little gun. We got like shields and armor and hulks and gods and my little pistol. Not even like a big gun, like my little pistols. Like my dick is bigger than that gun. At least with the bow and arrow, there could be explosives and stuff on it, and little tricks of the trade. And that's what sucks is that we didn't get to see the Avengers do a whole lot together. That's the bad thing about it. Other than this and this and the second one, maybe a little bit of Civil War at the beginning, if you want to count that. Obviously, because like how much these films cost and all these people together and how much time it takes, and then you have your own separate films they deal with. It's like, man, you didn't really get to see the Avengers together that much. Like this here, again. And then by the time the third one came about, they're all separated. they're all doing their own thing, separated. Even at the end, they're separating these two groups, and then they lose for the to get to the next one, and even then when they get to the next one, they're not all there because half of them have disappeared, obliterated, cast away like sands in the wind. Like I said, I love these that's what I mean with Hawkeye. Like all these cool specialty arrows, like the imagination you could showcase with all that. I think could have worked as a full-length movie. No, instead, Shang-Chi had to get a movie. Captain Marvel, the movie. It made $1 billion. It made $1 billion because people were curious as to how it connected to Endgame, which was like the movie people were looking forward to the most in the MCU. Because they knew there's like an end of an era. That some of these guys were not going to be coming back, and it's going to be the last hurrah for these guys. So they want to see what the build-up was for that, which included Captain Marvel. Case in point, when the sequel, The Marvels, came out, barely anyone gave a shit and saw it. And it bombed. That was a bomb. Bonafide bomb. Here we go. And I think the director, did the best he could to try to give each character their moments to shine, which is very hard to do when you have so many characters. So you give Black Widow her time to shine. You don't give Captain America. Very tough when you have that many characters. So it's like Cap, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor, Widow, and Hawkeyes. So it's 6. Cap, Hulk, Iron Man, Thor. Yeah, that's 6. That you have to incorporate the other moments to shine. Like that, I love. That's a great moment. Like the teamwork. Like this here, just showing all the teamwork. Like having to be a continuous shot, no cuts. This, like, I can see why CGI was used. Like, this makes sense. And for 2012, doesn't look that bad compared to some of the stuff today. I mean, the teamwork involved, Iron Man and Cap, Thor and Hulk. I mean, good comic book type of moments. And of course, this bit here, which this humor works a bit for the Hulk. Maybe not so much, him with glasses taking selfies. Just saying. Damn, that alien on the ground's like slack jaw, like you got. Never mind. Had his way with him. Ooh, a nice bit of business there. Get off my lawn. There you go. Like, get off me. Stop trying to take my mask. There you go. Nice bat flip. Ooh, right out the window. I forgot that was Powers Booth. That's right. Rest in peace, Powers Booth. Of course, great actor. He was in Southern Comfort. Very good film from the early 80s. He was the villain in the Jean-Claude Van Damme film Sudden Death. He was in Extreme Prejudice with Nick Nolte. A Tombstone. Bullseye. See, like everybody gets their hits and on Loki. Like everybody like gets their time to. Well, almost. Almost everybody gets their time. And then here, like this is the big rad doll kind of. There you go. You just watch it going, damn, man. Beauty God. And that's what I mean, like, when you see this stuff, it's hard to take this guy seriously as a... Well, I mean, I did say at the beginning, like, he was very serious at the beginning. Talk about the acting-wise, Tom Hiddleston. Does a good job acting-wise. But I almost forgot just how much he got his ass kicked throughout this film, and so I guess to be fair, like the TV show was not the first time he got treated as a punk. Like he kind of got treated as he kind of a punk in this film too, because like each one like gets their moment. Well, I did not each. Like I wouldn't say Captain America really did. They had a fight earlier in the film, but they felt more like an even matchup. And Black Widow doesn't. But Hawkeye was able to blow him up, which is a nice moment because he was using Hawkeye as a puppet. Iron Man was able to blast him. Hulk made him a dirty pair of diapers, just rolling around, throwing it as far as he can. Oh, damn. No more arrows. I think that's pretty cool. See, that's what I mean. Like, the stuff like this would be really cool to see in a movie, the Hawkeye stuff. He's vulnerable, and so we could root for him, kind of like a John McClane Die Hard, Die Hard, that type of thing. But on the flip side, you have these cool moments. So of course, you always gotta have the moments where the heroes are their backs at the wall. So now you're wondering how are they going to do? How are they going to make it out? Leave a bit of doubt in the viewer. Kind of like watching a Rocky movie. You see Rocky getting beaten up a bit. Cut me, bit, cut me, cut me. It's like, damn. You can get off this damn thing. Get the hell out of there. Come on, Nick. Were you really thinking you were going to shoot the damn plane from that far away with that pistol? He was thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know if that would do anything. Damn, he's trying. And it's a very stupid decision by the government, however, because you don't know if those weapons would do a damn thing to this technology. You would not know at all. Yeah, nice little moments like that. Thor picked it up. Captain America. Like I said, Joss Whedon did a nice job and try to incorporate as many of those little moments as possible. Because a lot of times it's the little things that count, and you have enough of those little things to build up to a more pleasurable experience. So, like I said, I don't hate the film. I think it's okay. I think even when I first saw it, I thought I didn't mind the opening of the film. I think the middle section is pretty uneventful, other than the Hulk Thor fight and so again some of the interactions, but the whole like middle section, kind of not the most exciting. And then the big third act, which is pretty lengthy, is definitely gives you your money's worth, your bang for your buck. And of course, give Iron Man, which makes sense because he started the MCU, so give him the big moment to shine, because he was, I guess you chronologically you say Captain America was the first, but release wise, Iron Man was the first, so brought the MCU to the dance, so to speak. Well, I guess it did something there. There you go. Yeah, I was saying you don't know if that would do anything, but that proved I was wrong about that. It blew that whole thing up, so guess they had the right idea. And of course, this is the start of the PTSD that Tony Stark will have, that you will see in Iron Man 3. Starting Iron Man 3, or an Age of Ultron, and then Civil War. Captain America Civil War. But I guess that's the thing compared to comic books. Like comic books, because they've existed for so many decades, you talk about how, they were in so many constant battles and see full lives that they led. While with the movies, to be honest, it's only going to be like a handful of times that you see these characters. I mean, Captain America, 3 movies, and 4 Avengers films. Tony Stark, 3 Iron Man movies, and the 4 Avengers films. So you had 7 of them. I think Robert Downey Jr. I'm trying to think if he ad-libbed the shawarma stuff, or if it was told, if it was like someone told him it. I can't remember who came with the shawarma stuff. If it was Robert Downey Jr., I think it was a different line And Robert Downey Jr. said we maybe we could think of like a better, like funnier line or more interesting line. I don't know, either he or someone else came up with the shawarma bit. I will say with Tom Hiddleston, at least I can enjoy his acting and his personality in moments like that, where he's like, "Yeah, I know, I give up, I did it," that type of thing. So, which made him more interesting to me than Thanos. So while again back then I'm sitting there going, do I? Does it have to be Loki? Again, on the flip side, it's like, well, there's Stan Lee. On the flip side, it's like, well, overall it did work out. That actress does look familiar. I swear I've seen her in other movies before. That actress. And of course, the Tesseract, the Infinity Stones, we're going to be incorporating that into it and lead to the big thing in End Game. Here we go. See ya. Now they're doing this separate ways, and at least until the next movie. Now we're going our separate ways to go to our sequels. So watching this again, not a bad film. Again, it's a film I think is okay. I don't rewatch it much, but again, I don't hate the film. And definitely better than the stuff you did nowadays in terms of Marvel. Like I say, weird kind of sense of sadness of you see where these characters are, and you're just wondering the potential of the future. And man, the state of affairs of Marvel nowadays, it's just really depressing. It's just really shit. Again, for the new Avengers film, what, it's going to be She-Hulk, Captain Marvel, female Hawkeye, Ant-Man the Wasp, I guess, Shang-Chi, female Black Panther, whoa, whoever the fuck else, the Marvels. What was that one fucking TV show? The girl that was the fangirl of fucking Captain Marvel, which I don't remember her damn name or the damn show. Miss Marvel, right? Miss Marvel. I forgot Alan Silvestri did the music for this. Of course, Alan Silvestri did the music for Back to the Future and Predator. I forgot he did the music for this. Going through the cast list. Scarlett Johansson, Jeremy Renner, got Tom Hiddleston, Clark Gray, that was the guy who was Agent Coulson, Stellan Skarsgård, that was the guy who was in Thor, who was controlled by Loki in this. Marvel Studios presents. Associated with Paramount Pictures. Trying to remember if the shawarma bit is after this. Can I remember? Or is this the Thanos? Yeah, it might be the Thanos bit. Yeah. The first thought of Thanos. We have a little plan to where our next destination will be. It'll take a while, but like I said, I never gave a shit about Thanos. I never did. I don't know why. I just never cared. You know, I don't know why. I just never. I think just as a villain, his plan, his frame of mind was never that intriguing to me. Obviously very popular. And in the comics, a lot of people liked his portrayal. I didn't just... But, that's just me. Well, that is the Avengers 2012. I mean, there's like 6 minutes of credits. It's just them eating shawarma at the very end. I'm trying to flipping through to see where was the cast. Like, do they have like a text of the cast? Just to look. Must have missed it. Yeah, I must have missed it. I'm in like the text. The show, yeah, there you go. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans. Still strong. Okay. Paul Bettany is Jarvis. Powers Booth. Okay. Just seeing if there's any names I recognize. But yeah, with that said, thanks for watching. For those few who did, thanks once again, Phil. Take care, everyone. And we'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.